Hey guys, my name's Doug with Infotainment.com. Today I want to show you guys how easy it is to upgrade from the base radio to the premium navigation radio in the Nissan Altima. All of our systems are plug-and-play. We do include a plug-and-play harness, which allows the install to be possible. We also include the GPS antenna and the SD card, the map card needed. As I mentioned, installation is very easy. I'm going to show you guys how to do that now. Our premium 100% factory Nissan OEM navigation radios, as I mentioned, are plug and play. So your backup camera continues to work. Those of you who do have it, steering wheel controls, Bluetooth, everything. So let's get started. All right, the first thing we're going to want to do is we want to remove these two little black trim pieces here. To do that, what we're going to do is we're just going to pop out this little piece right here. It's always recommended. You could use a dash pry tool or a regular screwdriver. Just kind of get that out. That just breaks free just a little bit of room, so you can just pop this little guy out. Just held in with retaining clips. So you pop that side out. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now that you have those two out, we can now pop out our trim piece that goes around the radio. Again, all just little clips here. There's no screws, so that just pops right out. You can set that aside. Once you do that, you can remove these two Phillips head screws here. You can go ahead and remove these two up here as well, next to the AC vents. This will just pop out, and then this down here will just pop out. Basically what that gives you access to now is two Phillips head screws up here, and then there are two Phillips head screws down here. So we can remove those now. Now that all the screws have been removed, we could just pull the radio out. On the back side of the radio are several different connectors. We can go ahead and start disconnecting. The pink one here is for those of you who have SiriusXM. The gray one on the left-hand side here is your AM/FM radio. This larger plug here is for your Bluetooth microphone and CAN bus and whatnot. This one here is for your remote USB and aux. Then we have two smaller ones. That one's also for aux. This one's for your speaker, power and ground. And then those of you who have automatic climate control will have this larger connector here. And that larger connector we plugged into this module here. This is for automatic temperature control. So not all of you have it, but those of you who do will have that connector as well. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take out these screws. There should be 4 on each side. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this bracket off and we're going to put it onto the navigation radio that we send you. It's in the exact same holes, exact same location. So we'll do that now. Some of you may receive a radio that has a few extra connectors. This little gray one here and brown one here. These will not be utilized in this upgrade. So if you have connectors back there that are brown or that fit in here, they won't be utilized. If you do get a radio with these two and you have both those connectors, you could plug them into there. It won't harm anything, but they're not utilized in the navigation radio upgrade. All right, guys, as you can see, we have the brackets now on the premium navigation radio here. We did replace the 4 screws like I mentioned. These are Torx T20 screws, okay? So it just takes a minute to do it, but now we're ready to install it. So right before we put it in, what we need to do is we need to install our GPS antenna. So as I mentioned, this is included with our kit. The GPS antenna is really easy to install. It just needs to be beneath the windshield under the dash top. So you can really put it in any location that you prefer. I found that it works pretty well right back here on top of the AC duct. You know, it'll be kind of like right here under the dash. Sometimes what we'll do here is we'll use double-sided tape to make sure it stays. Otherwise, what else you could do is, if you kind of fool around behind the dash here, you could probably find a metal bracket or brace. The base of the antenna is magnetic, so it will stick to that metal surface. So something to keep in mind. The remainder of the wire, we're just going to go ahead and tuck in back here. Now we're ready to put the radio in. So we're going to connect everything in just like before. Basically, what we're going to do here is we're going to plug in our adapter harness into the bottom of the radio. And you'll hear it clip into place. And then the 3 connectors we disconnected initially on the factory radio will plug into these 3 connectors. Our USB will plug in here as before. GPS antenna, AM/FM radio, and this guy here. And then this pink connector, as I mentioned before, is for satellite radio. Those of you who want to add satellite radio, what a great time to do it. All you have to do is install this magnetic antenna here, either on the outside of the vehicle or on top of the dash. You'll be able to get Sirius satellite radio. So this particular vehicle has it, so we'll be able to just plug right in. And then the AC control module here. All right, now that all of our connectors are plugged in, we can slide the radio into place, and it will fit into the exact same location as the previous radio. So now we can reinstall all the screws. And go ahead and pop in the AC vent here, and we can install the 4 screws here. It's a total of 8 screws, guys. Now, before we install these 2 screws, I forgot what we're going to want to do is pop in this lower panel here. There's 2 clips on each side, one here, one here. We're going to pop those in, fold this up, and then snap this into place. And we're actually going to put the 2 screws in now. All right, now it's just a matter of reassembling the dash the same way we took it apart. Now, a little trick with these guys, it actually tells you on it which way is up, and it will have either an R or an L on it. So this just so happens to say up here and an R. So I know it's going to go on the right side here. Better leverage to put the left one in. Is it a little easier just to pop out this little panel here? And that allows you to kind of wedge it in. The panel does just pop in and out. And then this one will pop right over that little trim piece. Alright guys, now that everything's installed and buttoned up and back in its place, let's go ahead and fire it up and check it out. So right away you see the nice big 7-inch display here, touchscreen. We did prepare the phone prior to the video, so we are connected to my phone here. Those of you who have SiriusXM, you do retain it when going to the navigation radio. You just have to call and change your subscription over to the new satellite radio ID. But you notice here that's working. Then you have FM and AM. This little button here, you can seek this way, or you can tune by running it like this. You do obviously have a CD player, which is up in here. An auxiliary input. If you do want to plug your smartphone or an MP3 device, plug it in through the USB, and then also your aux as well. This is your back button. This will get you back like whenever you're going through the navigation menu and stuff like that. You can hit back. This is how you initiate phone calls, pressing this, or get to the Bluetooth menu. So just a really cool system here. As I mentioned, guys, backup camera. Everything is pre-programmed. So not only that, but you do also retain steering wheel controls, everything else. Your lights, when you turn your lights on, it does do the auto dim with the backlight there. So all pre-programmed. One of the biggest things about this radio here is one of the reasons why everyone's buying it, obviously, is for navigation. So really cool navigation radio here, very user-friendly. You don't have anything tacky up on the windshield. You're not holding your phone driving. This is all 100% Nissan factory. The directions come through the speakers and on the display. This is your map, so you have the map feature here. You could tell it pinpointed our location immediately. You notice a green outline on some of the major highways. That has to do with serious traffic, which I'll get into in just a minute. But yeah, as long as your GPS antenna is just below the dash top under the windshield, it will pinpoint your location. You may have to drive around for a few minutes for it to grab it, but in any case, it should do that fairly quick. Going back to the nav menu, if you want to enter in a street address, you can certainly do that right through the screen here. Points of interest. You could set your home address, so every time you get in the car, you just hit home and it'll take you home. So that's a really neat feature there. Within the apps button here, 2014 and up Altimas do come with the apps feature with the premium radio here. That includes SiriusXM Traffic and TravelLink. Those are additional subscriptions through Sirius Satellite Radio, so you'll be able to talk to them about that. It will reroute you if there's an accident or congestion through SiriusXM Traffic, which is really neat. So when you're headed to your destination, it'll avoid those backups. My apps, this is actually a feature if you download the NissanConnect app on your smartphone, and then make sure your phone's paired or plugged into the USB, you can actually do online searches. You can actually hook up Facebook, Twitter, so on and so forth, all through the Nissan Apps feature. So you'll be able to, if my phone was connected here, it would be able to, do Google online searches and things like that. So that's a pretty cool little feature there. But nevertheless, a couple more things I want to talk about, guys. Some Altimas have Bose, some do not. These radios are pre-programmed to work with either. Backup camera, if your Altima does not have a backup camera, the little adapter harness that I was installing earlier would be a little bit different. It would have an RCA plug on it, and then we would include instructions on how to connect a backup camera to get it working on the nice big 7-inch screen. As I also mentioned in the video, if you want to add SiriusXM, all you have to do is go on our website. You can purchase this separately, install it in your vehicle, and then you would be able to utilize Sirius Satellite Radio. So just really cool. As I mentioned, guys, 100% pre-programmed, plug and play. Come check us out, Infotainment.com. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, guys, I want to just show you real quick how the My Apps feature works. So once you download the NissanConnect app on your smartphone, it's the NissanConnect mobile app. So you're going to want to pull that up. You could either create an account or just continue as a guest. I found that the guest is pretty cool. You don't have to go through and sign up for an account and everything like that. The only thing that you really get by signing up for an account is the Facebook and the Twitter features. And it's not like a full Facebook, guys, where you're going to be scrolling through your page and all that. It's just basic functionality of Facebook and Twitter. So if you create a guest account, it kind of gets you in there. It gives you the ability to control your Pandora, iHeartRadio, TripAdvisor. So if you want to go into there and, find a restaurant close by, it's all going to do it through your phone, through the Nissan Connect. So let's just say you want to find a restaurant. So you'll go through and it actually rates it, as you know TripAdvisor does. You can go down, figure out where you want to go, and then it actually spits this into the navigation feature, which is really cool. So if I were to hit start right now, it would actually calculate through the embedded navigation, and then it would direct us there. So that's kind of cool there. As I mentioned, it does have Google. It's not like your traditional Google, guys, where you can type in and you can be surfing the web. It's just very basic functionality here through the Nissan Apps feature. Restaurants, voice search categories, just basic stuff just to get the directions and, the telephone numbers of wherever you want to go linked into your vehicle there. So another thing I wanted to mention quickly, the Nissan Connect services is only for vehicles that actually have the built-in modem. Most of the Altimas do not have that, so you will not gain Connect services. Just wanted to point that out. Every time you press this, it would say unable to connect, and that's totally normal. You will not be able to utilize that unless you have the built-in modem, which does not come in the vehicle unless it has the factory navigation radio. So that's just something I wanted to point out there too. Another thing I wanted to mention here within the map, the SD card here, right? If you were to pull this or pop this little thing out here, that would give you access to the SD map card. Now, those are available through Nissan or the internet to replace those about once every 18 months with the latest and greatest maps. That is all preloaded when we ship these radios out behind that SD card slot here. So something else I wanted to point out.